show these brochures.
Yeah, we will. Hey guys, how's it going? So today's Thursday with Chopper History, brought to you by Indian Motorcycles and Law Tigers. And today's guest is going to be Mike Corbin from Corbin Seats. But before we get to him, DP and I were just looking at this morning, and we thought we'd share it because I thought it was pretty cool. We recently bought a bike, 84 FXR
S.
S.
Willie G Disc Glide. There was only 800 of them made, and
And the bike's mint.
and so we got all the original brochures with it. The from 1984.
Yeah, so this is
And,
pretty cool. This is a brochure for the Evolution motor, for an Evo.
That was the first year of the Evolution motor.
It says the new Evolution engine, new guts for old glory. I feel like typical Harley Davidson wording. And then this is pretty cool. So this is a brochure for an RT, which they call it Sport Glide. So was a Sport Glide different letters than RT?
Yeah, no, I think that was an RT. Oh, that's
With
a
the tour pack.
yeah, no,
So what was
that's an FXRT.
So that, I thought these were
Yeah.
pretty cool pictures.
Yeah.
That there, and then you open it up and you get this whole thing. So I thought these are pretty cool
Yeah, very cool.
to show what the brochures looked like back in the early 80s. And then this is the bike that we actually bought, in which this is exactly what it looks like. Like this paint scheme and everything. So yeah. Even still has this seat. Whoops. This way.
Yeah, it's got the two-tone seat, the rider seat, the passenger seat, and the sissy bar seat. All have color matching upholstery on them, and it's a pretty cool bike. You know, it's going to be up for sale. It's an original bike. It was from one family, bought it brand new. We have the original bill of sale from the dealer. It's got 7,000 original miles on it, and it's a beautiful bike.
Yeah, very cool. Let me give a shout out quickly to our regulars on here. Stephen Draco, Dulu, how are you? We're good. Stephen Brenner, good. How's it going? Carol, Carl from Michigan, Kevin Olson, good morning. Dennis Frame from Long Island, Christopher Seal, hi Darcy. Tim Raines.
Hey, Tim.
Hi, Tim. Say hi to Ellie for us. I hope she's watching too.
I hope you liked your cup, Tim. Oh, yeah, that's right. He did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's right. He did reach out to me.
Wenton, what's up, Wenton?
Hey, Wenton.
Conti, good morning. Andrew from New York. Ron Marshall. Ray Thatcher.
Hey, Ray.
Ray, how's the cranberries coming?
Yeah.
So Ray is a cranberry farmer, which Massachusetts is known for cranberry bogs. Well, actually, I think Wisconsin maybe or Michigan is the only other place that grows cranberries.
Yeah.
Doug Francie, good afternoon. All right, so let's get to it.
Yeah, let's get to Mike.
Yeah, so
Mike Corbin is an old friend. We go back a long way.
He's not old though.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just an old friend.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna have Mike on right now.
Yeah. All right. Let me see here. Add to the stream. All right. Hey, Mike. Good morning.
Morning, everybody. How you doing?
Good. How's everything going up there where you're at?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. You know, I think that the other morning it was 31 degrees, so we're colder than you guys are.
Yeah, I know. Now, where exactly are you located?
We're in Hollis, California.
Oh, okay.
I wish this thing wasn't cut now.
Yeah.
Mike, I love your sweatshirt.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I went to Harvard.
Yeah, Mike went to Harvard.
That's what. Yeah, that's right.
You're a Harvard graduate, huh, Mike?
That's right. Yeah.
Did you live here in Boston? Are you from Boston?
I'm actually from Massachusetts. I was born and raised in Gardner.
In where?
Gardner.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, up in the western part of the state, sort of. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
50 miles west on Route 2.
Yep. Hey, Mike, so tell us about the early days when you first got started.
Well, in the motorcycle business,
Yeah.
I actually was in the Navy, and
Oh,
then
happy Veterans Day.
Yes.
I was an electrician, and I fixed up my Norton Atlas. I had a '64 Atlas. This was 1965, and I bobbed it out. You know, bobbed the fender and bobbed the rear fender. The seat didn't look right, so I took the seat all apart and I modified it. Lady next door was a industrial seamstress, so I had her sew me up a really nice cover. I went to Grafton, Vermont to a rally in the spring, and a guy said, "Hey, where'd you get the seat?" I said, "I made it." He said, "I want to buy your seat." I said, "Well, I can't sell you my seat. How am I going to get in it?" Well, it's really nice out. There's your jacket, and I was home on that. So I took his $40, you know, which is like $400 now, right?
Yeah.
I went home and started making another suit. My helper came along. He wanted one for his Ironhead Sportster. And then guys started coming over my house, you know, on weekends all the time. Make a suit, make a suit. So by 1968, I was so busy making suits and being an electrician, I had to choose one thing or the other. So I chose the motorcycle industry.
Yeah.
I've been doing it ever since. So Corbin's actually 53 years old full time now.
Wow, Billy, you're 53. You look pretty good for 53, Mike.
Yeah, no, the company.
No.
So that's quite the milestone, Mike. To 53 years in business. That's pretty good. And your seats are so infamous. I mean, everybody knows Corbin seat.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of businesses where one person works for 50 years.
Well, we passed 50 years this year.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah. You know, I started in, I tell the people ask me how long you've been in business. I said, well, the last job I had was 1970.
Oops.
But so what made you move to California?
Well, I had been out here when I was in the Navy when I was a kid, so I always liked it in Northern California. And in 1980, I got in a bad divorce, so I decided to move to California in 1980.
Yeah, and never look back, right?
Well, I started in Connecticut. I started in Manchester, Connecticut with the seats, and I love New England. But in California, I just found that more eclectic, like guys had a lot of different kind of bikes. You know, it wasn't unusual in those days for a Ducati guy to have a Harley and a Honda. You know, so it was a little bit better for product development. You know, and they ride year round out here pretty much. So it made it a little bit easier to help get bikes in and design parts for them.
We have had some really good weather here, and I just realized that I think this is the latest I personally have ever ridden in New England. Like it's 70 degrees out right now.
Yeah. We used to take the license plates off them in October back there.
Yeah,
I know.
definitely.
So, hey, tell me about Corbin Gentry. What was that?
Well, Corbin Gentry is the whole thing started out was Corbin Manufacturing, and so then I had a salesman. It was a Vietnam vet. He had one leg, and he came to work for us in about 1970, and he would go visit motorcycle dealers. So that's when Easy Rider movie was just coming out, and Easy Rider magazine was just coming out. The Honda 754 cylinder was just invented in '69. So it was like a very exuberant time in the motorcycle industry. So Dave would go around and visit motorcycle dealers. So he got down to, and he was always get a lot of orders. So he got down into the Carolinas, and he says, I don't know, I don't get any orders down here. He says, I go in and I say, I'm Dave from Corbin, and they go, oh yeah, the seat looks okay, but they wouldn't order anything. He says, what should I do? I said, well, I don't know. Call me back tomorrow. That's when we use the pay stations, And and I'm coming to work in the morning in my pickup truck, and I heard the Ode to Billy Joe on the radio by Bobby Gentry. It was like the song of the year, right? So Dave calls me up at the shop, and he says, what should I do? I said, the new name of the company is Corbin Gentry. So whenever you go into a dealer in the southern states, you go, I'm Dave from Corbin Gentry. So he actually made some cards with a pencil and filled them out for a while there. And then we changed the name of the corporation to Corbin Gentry Incorporated. And that's when, there was a little bit of rivalry between New England, the North and the South, and all that. It worked out real well.
Wow, that's quite a story. I never heard that before. I never knew what the deal was. Every once in a while we come across a seat, an old seat, or a frame. You guys made frames for a while, right?
Yeah, we made a lot of frames. Also in the 70s, we had 5 Heliark motors all the way through the 70s.
Yeah. They're still around up here in New England.
Yeah,
But,
and we made rigid frames for a lot of metric bikes, and Triumphs, and Japanese bikes, and PSAs, did Harleys, did Hardtail division. Triumph Hardtail was one of our best fabrication products for many of them.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep.
Mike, so I got this picture off the internet. Can you tell us about this?
That's 1974 right there.
So is that an electric?
That's an all-electric bike. And in 1973, the year before, I went to Bonneville and I had a different bike, and I was the first guy ever to go 100 miles an hour on electricity. And
Wow, that's pretty cool.
yeah, it's a big deal. They used to say you will never go 100 miles an hour on an electric vehicle. That's when we had lead acid cell batteries. So then I went home, and Yardney Electric they made super silver zinc batteries for nuclear powered submarines, and they were right down there in Pawcatuck, Connecticut. And they came to me and they said, well, we can give you better batteries and you can go back to Bonneville and go much faster. So we kind of partnered up and had a collaboration for a year, and I built that bike. And we went back and we set the land speed record at 165, 387. We had a one-way trap speed of 191 one day. And we went over 200 one day, but the wires were broken. In those days, they had the wires laid on assault. They didn't have the radios. So that became the fastest electric vehicle for 38 years. And that record lasted until 2012.
That's a long time to hold a record. That's pretty good.
Yeah, no kidding. So
Yeah,
where is that bike now?
That bike is at the Corbin Museum.
Oh,
Yeah. Lost the sound somehow.
Oh, can you hear us now?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. That's really cool. It's cool to hold a record that long on a motorcycle, especially at Bonneville. So let's go over to seats, because you just did some seats for us for a charity for a golf cart that we did.
Oh yeah,
They came out so awesome.
Between the paint job and the seats, that's one nice golf cart.
yeah. Everybody was blown away with those seats. I'll tell you, Mike, you did an unbelievable job.
Where's your phone? Because I think it's your phone that's.
That phone.
Yeah, those seats are really cool. It came out awesome. Everybody loved it.
Well,
what's your most popular seat, Mike?
Well, seats for Harley Davidson is still our single biggest one, And I would say more or less the FLH chassis 09 and up, like, Street Glides to FLHs. We're doing really well on Dynaglides these days. A lot of younger guys are getting Dynaglides. And so basically, Harley Davidson is pretty number one with our sales here at Corbin.
Yeah, I would say I was thinking that like an FLH seat was the going to be the top seat, I guess you could say. That would have been my guess.
Well, there's so many of them out there. The seats aren't that great, so yeah, we do real well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, are you still making those the couches?
Pardon me?
Are you still making those, the fiberglass couches?
I know
You know-
you got.
Yeah.
We it slowed down a little bit in '08. That was the Great Depression, you know? And because those guys at those fancy garages thinned out a little bit, you know. But we still make them. I got a Mercury in my living room at home, and now I'm building a '57 Corvette at home. But we sold a couple last week, and yeah, we still get them out there. They're beautiful. Really that
Those
nice.
things are so cool. I did a brick, and I had it down in my Cape house, and then I did a '57 Corvette, and then I had to repair a '57 Chevy that was in some salon in Boston, and we went and picked it up and did a repair on that. But yeah, those things are so cool. The back end of all these various cars with a couch built into it, very cool.
Yeah, and they're actually a physical copy of the car, you know.
Yeah,
Like the vet is exactly the same size and the shape and everything. So is the '57 Chevy. It's exactly the same. The proportions are really good.
yeah. You know, Mike, I still have an old pair of those Beetle bags.
Oh yeah.
You know, you sent me a pair of those in 1996.
Oh
I
yeah.
put them on a police bike that I had, that I customized, and then when I sold it, the guy wanted me to put the stock ones back on, so I still have the original ones. They still have the custom paint on them and everything. I'm just waiting at some point in time. I'll find a good use for them.
Yeah, that's good. I remember that project. Yeah, they came out nice.
Yeah, yeah.
We have several people commenting too that they all have Corbin seats. Joy says she's 3 out of 4 bikes have Corbin seats. Best seats ever. Corbin makes the best seats out there. Love my Corbin seat. So tons of people are chiming in. They
Yeah.
love your seats.
Yep.
Well, you're getting my day off to a good start here, you guys.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's what it's all about, Mike.
Yeah.
You know.
We have Wen says my cousin Chuck Stewart was Bobby Gentry's manager for 30 years.
No kidding.
No
Got
kidding.
some
Yeah. Then Chris's seal. I remember the original Corbin Gentry seat. We used to buy them through Ted's Cycle Shed in Newburgh.
Ted was our biggest contributor for all through the '70s.
Was he? Yeah.
He would just buy a truckload of them, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Appreciated that, but he helped us out a lot.
Yeah.
Mike, what did you graduate from Harvard? What kind of degree did you get?
Actually, I went back to Harvard when I was. I went back to school when I was 58. And I
Oh
went
wow, good for you.
to MBA. Yeah, I didn't go when I was young.
Didn't Kenny Price do the same thing?
Did you and Kenny go at the same time?
Actually, Kenny went 2 years after me. He went. Yeah.
Was when you were 58?
Yeah.
Geez, I remember when you went. It didn't, it was like yesterday,
It was like 2000 I went.
Yeah. Wow. 20 years ago. Shit.
Sure saved my butt in '08 when a big crash came. Boy, I was happy I was at MBA in those days.
Really?
Oh yeah, it really made a difference.
Yeah. I remember the story about you and Kenny driving to Sturgis on your sport bikes, and you never went under 100 the whole way.
Ninjas, yeah, I had a Ninja, and I talked Kenny into buying one, and he rode pretty darn fast. I was surprised on his first time out on a sport bike.
So your average speed was over 100?
We never were much lower than 120 miles an hour. It was unbelievable.
Really?
Those Ninjas were capable of about 165, but we
Wow.
hit the other way a lot of times, and we had a great time.
Did you get any tickets?
Yeah, we did get a ticket. We did get tickets. There was one time we went. There was 3 of us. The other guy had a 4-cylinder Triumph, And in Montana, we came over a hill, and all three bikes came off the ground. And then we were kind of landing. I think we were going about 125. And there was a sheriff right there. And so he turned around and he came after us, and we all pulled over, and we tried to be really polite, you know. And he gave us tickets on Post-it notes, and we gave him cash.
Oh boy!
So
How convenient, huh?
Cash deal.
we started out we were going to go to jail, and then the next step was we were just going to go to court and stay in jail one night. Then we we're going to get big tickets, and then I could see that he was a Navy veteran with his tattoos, so I took my jacket off and we started talking about the Navy, stuff like that. Then he said, "Okay, $20 each." So Kenny and I each gave him $20. And you get a receipt on a Post-it note, handwritten.
Unbelievable.
And the other guy didn't have $20. He had a $100 bill. I said, "Well, then you'll have to take him away. We don't have a 20." So the sheriff had plenty of 20s in his truck, so he made change for him.
Yeah.
No kidding. You should have given him a tip at that.
It
Wow.
must have been a good combination. You making seats and Kenny Sampson making exhaust.
Yeah, he made those fishtails like crazy. Remember?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Sampson. So we're talking about those of you guys listening. Sampson exhaust. So that's Kenny Price. Is Kenny Price his last name? And
Yeah,
not
we
Sampson?
changed his name to Samson.
Yeah,
You know, yeah, his real name is Kenny Price.
that was kind of a logo there for a while. The muscle guy.
Geez, we got a somebody that just tripped. He says, "I've got 84,000 miles on my Corbin heated seat."
Good deal.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot. I'm glad it's working good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of miles. That's a lot of miles. Period. Never mind on the same seat.
Yeah. Jeez, I'll say.
Yeah,
But,
Corbin seats are designed for the people that do a lot of riding. You know, we do
Yeah.
custom seats too, but basically, when we get a bike and we're designing something, we try to focus on the long distance riders. You know, we got an FLH in here this morning and a Goldwing, guys, and it's like only 34 degrees out, but they come here and have them built while they wait in their shop and stuff like that. So we really focus on the long distance riders.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. So you guys will make a seat that quick for somebody?
In the Hollister factory, you can come in and have a seat built in one day.
Wow, that's impressive. That's a good customer service right there.
Yeah, bring
How
your
you
wife and bring
how
your bike and bring your passenger, and then we assign an artist to you. You can sit on our foam, and if you want to make any ergonomic changes, you can do that. Then you can go into our sewing room and start selecting colors and materials and stuff.
Wow,
Wow.
It's like going to a tailor, you know?
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really good. And we learn so much that way from the riders that we incorporate what we learn into our product development.
Yeah.
So I have my designers go over there and we check out everybody's bike every day and see what the guy chose, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you have any distributors, or are you all strictly dealer?
No, we sell mostly we sell direct, and we also sell about 25% to motorcycle dealers. But we don't deal with any distributors or OEMs anymore.
Okay.
That's good.
That makes it easier.
Yeah, it makes it easier, and it helps keep the price down a little bit. You know, when you have too many layers of pricing, you know, things get out of sight pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, how long have you been in that new building in Daytona, Mike?
Okay, we moved there. We've been there 14 years now.
Wow. Because, you know, I can remember the parties. Mike used to throw an unbelievable party in Daytona every year down at the old place on Main Street. I used to look forward to going. It was great.
Those are the great parties. Those were the $25,000 parties right there.
Boy, yeah, that was a great time.
Yeah, but Rossmeyer moved up to Ormond Beach. Then we went up a couple years later, built next near his shop. You know.
Yep. Yeah.
Downtown kind of became more just, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It used to be pretty hard to get into our Main Street building and get a seat installed because there was so much traffic jams and everything. So we sold that building.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like I once Ross Maya moved, that they took the people with them, for as far as being crowded on Main Street. I mean, it's still crowded, but to a point. It's not like how it was.
It definitely rechanged Daytona forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Is your Daytona place open all year round or just during bike week?
No, Ormond Beach is open year round. We have 4 techs work there. We have inventory there. And they do a lot of internet orders, and their phone opens 3 hours before us. See, so they're on the East Coast time. So that makes it nice because, like most motorcycle riders, are back east, and so we're on the same time zone. But then we have the 2 big rallies every year, Bike Week and Biketoberfest.
Yeah. 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 I mean, who knows what's going to happen with Daytona in March? I mean, I got people saying, "You're going to Daytona?" I'm like, yeah, I'm going, but who knows what's going to be, whether they're going to close down Daytona again like they did or what,
Yeah, you just have to wait to see what the virus environment really is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Down quite a bit in attendance, but Corbin did good. We were happy to be there for the riders that did come.
Yeah.
So that's all you could do is that's the world as it's changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You have to roll with it. That's it.
So we have somebody, they asked, are there any projects that Corbin did that really stand out?
Well, one of my favorite things was the land speed record for electricity, and being the fastest guy in electricity for 38 years really made me feel good. And not bad for a Navy electrician, and I loved developing a lot of seats for motorcycles. I mean, I really enjoy all brands of motorcycles. And I like the idea that we're able to come out with new ideas constantly. And one of my favorite projects was the Corbin Sparrow, the 3-wheel electric car. And we did that. We made 300 of those. We went out of business on that in 2003, unfortunately. But
yeah, they were pretty cool. I always loved those things.
Cool. Yeah, they were.
Mike, what made you do electric for Bonneville?
It wasn't there. Like in '72. You're too young to remember, Jody, but we had the gas lines. So like all of a sudden, there's no gasoline. And this was the Carter recession years, and we used to wait in line for gasoline. So I said, why don't I make an electric powered motorcycle and I can commute around on it, go to work, So I made one. And then a couple other guys, Craig Vetter bought one. And then I showed him at the Cincinnati show. And I sold about 100 of those. And then everybody said, well, they're too slow. It would go 40 miles an hour for 35 miles. It wasn't very good. But we used to call it a city bike. It was good for running around in Hartford or Boston, So then I said, well, I'm going to go to Bonneville and show guys that this thing can go 100 miles an hour. So I built a special bike and went to Bonneville, and I went 101. I just barely.
Hey, you did it.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter how far over, you did it.
Smoke was coming out of it too. I'm telling you,
I'll bet.
Yeah. So then I kind of got a taste for Bonneville. And,
yeah, we know all about that.
It gets in your blood. I know. I watch you all the time, Jody. It gets in your bloodstream. It won't come out,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
for
it's
sure.
good to. So how long ago was that you set that record?
73.
73.
First one over 100 miles an hour was 73, and in 74 I set the one at 165.
So 40 plus years ago, and you're talking about it today and still smiling as you talk about it, because I think the same thing. Like, I will always smile when I talk about Bonneville because it's such a magical place.
It is. It's different. It's like the environment is different.
Yeah.
The excitement's different. And all of a sudden it's wide open, and you think, boy, I can just go as fast as I can go, and there's no. The faster you go, the better off you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how fast. You know, like whether it's 100, 150, 200, everybody still has that magical moment at Bonneville, and it's such a cool place.
Bonneville is, you can't really tell somebody what it's really like. You know what I mean? You have to be there, and of course, going there as a spectator is a lot different than going there and being and participating. With a team. It was an unbelievable experience, and then to go there and break records, and it's always the doubters. You know what I mean? And we had plenty of them. Here's some custom guys. What are you doing here? And I got quite a pep talk. From Dennis Manning and from the AMA. They didn't want. Listen, you guys come here and we don't want you showing off and all this stuff. And I said, don't worry, and it was pretty cool deal.
Dennis Manning's one of my favorite guys of all time.
Yeah,
he's a
Dennis is a good guy. He's done a lot for the sport. Sure.
I was on his nations team. I made the body for him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to be, when we were in San Jose, he was right down the street, so we used to go to lunch a lot. But I Dennis Manning is one of the geniuses of Bonneville,
Absolutely.
Yeah, we agree.
Absolutely. As far as motorcycle racing at Bonneville, Dennis Manning is, responsible for a lot of it.
Well, he built more liners than anybody in the world.
Yeah. Oh, I bet he has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
new one now, it's a carbon fiber monocoque tube,
Yeah.
So there's no chassis in it, and then everything bolts inside to this fiberglass carbon fiber tube.
Wow.
Huh. Yeah, I would get people to ask me all the time, which this isn't quite a good picture, but they'd constantly be asking me, "Where's your seat? Where's your seat?" I said, "It doesn't have a seat. The seat is the body. I sit on the body." Because people couldn't grasp that I didn't have a seat.
As long as you got the right friction or the right shape to hold you, you really don't need a seat. You're going to go 5 miles in a few minutes,
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It didn't exactly that. It didn't need a seat. That was just something else to worry about that we didn't need.
You don't need a seat.
Yeah. So are you doing much on the line of Indian seats?
Yeah, we do real well with Indians. We bought the first Indian from Arlen Ness in 15, and when it came out, and started making seats for the chieftains right away, and kept right up on it. In fact, that's where we invented the fire and ice seat, the seat that will heat and cool. And the Indian Chieftain was the first bike that we put that on. Then we went into the FLHs, and we kept up on the Chieftains, and they came out with the luggage. They came out with the trunk the following year, so we made the backrest for that. Then when the Scout came out, we went out and bought a Scout right away and started making Scout seats. And we do real well with Indian. It's one of our premier lines, actually.
Yeah.
How about the Challenger? Have you got a seat yet for the Challenger?
We have the Challenger seats, and they're selling very well.
Yeah, I love my Challenger. They're a nice bike.
Yeah, they hustle right along too.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. How about I really like your FXR seat, or I guess I think it's Dyna FXR, the BMC.
Yeah. Yeah.
BMC.
Yeah.
Well, BMC seat, what that is, it's a Corbin seat with 2 logos on it. So it's BMC by Corbin. And what Big Mike's Choppers does is he communicates directly with each rider, and helps them choose colors and things like that. So he's one of our biggest dealers, and he sells a lot of seats. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I see bikes around here all the time with his seats, and actually, my boyfriend rides an FXR, and he, stunts, does wheelies and all that. He keeps saying, he's like, I got to get one of those because of the, the back of it being, I guess, harder to hold them in when they're doing wheelies and whatnot.
We made the back taller. We call it the wall. And,
okay.
helps you stay in there. But it's good for touring too. I mean, you get more body support, you know.
Yeah, I noticed on my seat on my Challenger, it's kind of stock, but I like that it comes up. You know, it supports like your lower back more than something that's a lot lower.
Yeah, it's always good to have as much body contact area as possible if you're going to do something. You know. Spreads the force of the body weight over more square inches.
We have Wenton on here. He says your manager Mike at the Daytona store is a great guy. Always go to dinner in Daytona and Sturgis with him. So there you go. You got some good employees. That's key.
Yeah, Michael K is a good guy. He really is. He's been running our store down there for quite a few years now. I run with him and stuff. Yeah, he's a good guy.
How often do you go to Daytona or to Florida?
I only go there twice a year. I go there for Bike Week, and I stay for usually 2 weeks, and then I go to Biketoberfest, maybe stay 10 days or 2 weeks. You know, so I get a chance to talk to all the riders, the rallies, and stuff like that. That's the best part, is talking to the people that ride motorcycles and find out what they need, stuff like that. I know, like you do, Dave. You know, you talk to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you got to. It makes it more personal. Somebody said they bought a Corbin seat directly from Mike Corbin. That's pretty cool.
Well, you know, the thing is, when you go into motorcycle business when you're young, you go in because you just love motorcycles, you know, and that's what pulls us all in. And then before you know it, you realize that the motorcycle people are the greatest people in the world. You know, I mean, they're the same as you are. You know, they love the adventure. They eat bugs and they ride in the rain and stuff, you know. They're just great people. So that's what makes it so much fun, is you're talking to people that you're one of them, you know.
Yeah, it literally becomes your family.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Mike, we're just a couple of guys that just love motorcycles.
That's how it started. That's how you started. I started that way. Sonny Barger started that way. Craig Vetter.
Yeah.
I mean, every guy I know made a widget, or he painted his bike, or he changed his bike around, and then other people would start asking him questions. And they'd want to do it too. We all got into it because we were frigging around with our motorcycles, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is a very cool industry.
It is. It's a really cool industry. It's one of the best industries in the world, you know?
Yeah.
I agree.
Now, you still have the lots on Lozelle in Sturgis?
We actually sold it, but we rent it now.
Oh, okay.
We had it for 25 years, actually.
Yeah. But you're still there in Sturgis in the same location.
Yeah, we didn't go this year because of the virus. We didn't want to expose our guys to it, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we're right across the street from JP.
All right, Mike. Well, can you hear me now? Thank you very much for coming on. And so, if people are in California and they want to get a seat, your store is in Hollister, correct?
Hollister, California. Yeah.
Okay, so do they schedule coming in to get a seat made?
Yes, you make an appointment. Just call the 800 number, and we set you up. And we also have a restaurant in the building, Wizards Cafe.
Oh, that's cool.
You can hang around with your iPad and do your work and everything, and have lunch and have breakfast, you know. So it's nice, and you can watch your seat being made.
That's
Very
really
cool.
neat. That's cool. That definitely adds a personal touch to it.
Yeah, people love going someplace where they can see something being made.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's legit made in the USA.
Yeah, and it's like watching a painter or something, but you're watching seamstresses and foam shapers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's made for you while you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great deal. You know, I mean, you're very lucky to be able to do that for people, you know, and people love it.
Well, and you know, you got to get it right with every single rider.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Helps me and my people understand what works for you, you know, over and over again. and we incorporate that knowledge into our product development. Most of our seats are shipped all over the world, UPS and FedEx.
Right. Well, shit, very cool.
All right, Mike. Well, thank you very much for coming on. And any of you guys watching, please go out and check out a Corbin seat. Try one out. Go check out their factory in Hollister and also your store in Ormond Beach, right before destination.
Yeah, if you're in Daytona for the rally, either Oktoberfest or in March, stop in at Corbin's, and he's got you got a great showroom there. Great building, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice building, and everybody's welcome.
Yep.
Very cool. And Mike, thank you very much for serving our country in the Navy.
Well, thank you for saying so. It was my pleasure.
Yeah, happy Veterans Day to you.
Yeah, we're still coming off of it yesterday, you know. Had my Navy shirt on yesterday.
All right, Mike, thank you very much for coming on. We appreciate you.
Well, thanks, Mike. I'll talk to you soon.
Keep going like hell on Bonneville.
Well, I'm going to keep going on two wheels no matter what it is.
Okay, guys. Thanks a lot.
See you later.
Okay, bye, Mike.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Sorry for the audio kind of mix up. I don't know what's going on with whether I got to get a separate microphone or, but we'll hopefully figure it out on Monday. So we're not quite sure what we'll have for Monday, so stay tuned. But Thursday, we're going to have Rick Petco. So he's going to be live at his shop inside the Harley dealership. So that'll be our show on next Thursday. So make sure you tune in. Thanks, you guys, for all your comments and likes. And if you guys are looking for a seat, go check out Corbin. And thank you to Indian Motorcycles and Law Tigers for sponsoring Chopper History and keeping motorcycling alive. You got anything else?
No, we're just signing off.
Yeah, because we'll see you guys on Monday. Hope everybody has a good weekend. If you're in New England, even though it's raining, you're soaking up this 70-degree day in November. All right, catch you guys later.
Okay.